Hey, Villa fam, welcome back to another episode of Honest Conversation with Two Village Girls. I'm Angie,
And I'm Serena.
and this season we'll be talking about difficult talks that are typically hard to discuss, but definitely needed in the home. This week we'll be talking about raising difficult children. So, first, we're going to start with talking about trial and error.
So, what we mean by trial and error is that we need to be figuring out what works for us and our child, like what helps our relationship with our child in terms of growth and development and sanity.
Yeah.
Raising children is no easy task. I am not a mother myself. Angie and I aren't parents quite yet. And we give props to all the parents out there raising their kids because as childcare professionals and teachers,
Mhm.
we only see your kids for maybe 8 hours a day during the week, and you guys do all the rest of the work. And even during the week, sometimes you guys come in or we have to reach out to you during the week to
Mhm.
ask for your help. So you guys really do a lot of hard work
Absolutely.
on your children. Um, and as teachers, we have to trial and error too, to figure out what works for your child, what works in the setting we're in.
Mhm.
And a big way to do that is to communicate how it's going. We can listen to how our child's feeling or how their actions are portraying like their inner like mood, just to figure out where they are mentally, where their emotions are.
Mhm.
That helps us as teachers, and I'm sure that would help parents as well with like figuring out the best approach to a positive relationship and positive growth in that child. And like I was saying, like kids don't always know the right words. They may not know exactly what the word is for how they're feeling or what they're going through, but their actions always show it. So in a lot of cases, a child's actions speak louder than words when it comes to communication.
Yeah, absolutely. I agree.
Kids, even though they're young, being heard and respected, even in the most minor of situations, can help them feel less alone and more like inspired to do it, more inspired to grow, inspired to stop the tantrums or stop the outbursts.
Mm. Another thing you guys can do when like raising your child, and I do it a lot in my like daycare center or my day in like in my childcare field, is to like um basically like channel your child's inner them. So, children have like different little quirks about them, that may like make them like stand out from other children, that may make them different from other children. And with this, what you would do is make sure you are putting them into like different activities that are developing those gifts and characteristics that they have. This will help with them like building themselves, like if they know their parent is understanding them, like understanding what they're going through. Like some kids might be going through, I don't know.
Um, these are like your kids that
They can be like,
are artists at heart,
hmm
but families want them to be like doctors. And once they reach like fifth grade, maybe middle school, parents are like, oh, no, you can't be in band.
oh, that's because they like sometimes parents be pushing it. Like sometimes parents didn't like, or adults haven't accomplished their dreams. So when they have children, they try to like push their dreams onto their child. I think that's why
Absolutely.
that happens sometimes. I think I'm not
And
really.
then another thing with this is that like um letting them be like encourage their gifts don't compare them to like their siblings or your brother's kids, your sister's kids, like your neighbors, your friends' kids. Let embrace them for their gifts and characteristics, because kids really like read into that and say like, oh, my mom thinks that my sister is the smart one, and therefore that they get the slack from being not like the other sibling kind of thing.
Yeah.
So really like embracing them for who they are without making them feel incompetent
Mm.
or less than because they're not like somebody else.
Yeah, and if you show them this at home, like show them to, or like teach them to like embrace their differences and in the home setting, like when they go out into school or when they go out and get older and stuff, they won't be like comparing themselves with, you know, their peers and what their peers are doing. They be more focused on like, well, even though I don't know that, I know how to do this, and this is what makes me me, or something like that, you know.
Absolutely. And the way we as teachers like encourage them, like in instances where we see a child doing something we prefer them not to do, instead of comparing them to other children and saying, why can't you be like this child? What we do is we use like positive, um, we talk about the behavior in a positive way. We don't address the unwanted behavior, but what we do is we say, I like when my friends are sitting with their hands nicely on their desk quietly. I like when my friends are listening. I like when we're walking in the classroom, because then it draws attention to the action and not the child specifically. We're not calling out children and saying, you're not doing what I want you to do. You're not listening. It gives them the opportunity to make the right choice.
Because it's just like when you know, when you're giving children positive uh feedback, I guess, I don't know,
Thank you.
positive,
Feedback.
when you give them positive feedback and positive praise, I guess, you get um you get them to like listen, you get them to be engaged more, and they want to like, even if if you have like in daycare center, you always have, sometimes you have a child that's not listening, doing what they want, but you know other children are listening, and you'll say, oh, I like that my students are listening, and then maybe that child will come and sit with the other children and start listening right with them.
Absolutely. And it works. It's
Yeah.
something simple, and they hear it and they're like, oh, well, we like this. I like this too. I
Yeah.
like hearing this.
They like to be acknowledged, you know.
Hmm.
Like, I'm listening
Absolutely.
too. I'm listening too. Don't forget about me.
Yep. And they'll be sure to tell you that too. Oh,
Mm-hmm.
I'm listening. I'm here. I'm here. Like,
Mm-hmm.
good job. I'm glad you're here.
Yeah.
Um, and another thing we can do is make our environment interesting for families, friends, students as much as possible. Create an environment and a culture that works with strong and clear consequences and rules, and a place for positivity and meaningful conversation, and even down to like the meals and having like that inviting community, whether it's like friends coming over, family being welcomed, just having that engaging, inviting community for all ages, all groups, and all families.
Absolutely.
This forms a base where they can be their best selves, their strong selves that they were made to be.
Absolutely. Yeah. If you make kids' home environment like fun, interesting, like enjoyable, like have like a good relationship, like an open relationship with your child, they
Mhm.
always will feel the need to come home, to come to you, to talk to you about everything, to come talk to you about their day. They will never like have they will never have to feel like they have to like hide anything from you or keep secrets from you because you're if y'all have that relationship already, if y'all start building that relationship, when the child is young, um, it's effective. It can be effective when they get older and stuff and start going through, the things that life throws at them.
Absolutely.
Yeah, so some kids might go through these different behavioral problems or different behavioral disorders, and what could be best for you as a parent is to like educate yourself about the that problem, that behavioral problem or that issue. For example, I know a lot of kids um have ADHD and go
Yeah,
through that a lot, and so when they go through that, all you have to do is just like educate yourself about it, find somebody to that can help them, find a professional person that can help them get through that as well. Get different opinions. Um,
absolutely.
just educate yourself as best you can about the problem about your child. Um, I feel like a lot of trial, if like we talk about trial and error, you do a lot of trial and error to just figure out what works best for you guys because it's a partnership at the end of the day. It's not just you.
Mhm.
It's you and your child. Like you have to figure out what works best for y'all together.
I love that. It's a partnership.
Hmm.
We as teachers can do some recommendations when it comes to like what we observe in the classroom with your child or with a child
Hmm.
in general. And it all goes back to building that village, figuring out who you can ask for help, who is on your side and who's on your child's side, um, and finding out like who you can talk to when you're feeling overwhelmed or if you need advice. And even taking a break. Who can you bring your child to if you need a break? Giving yourself and your child the opportunity to grow as a pair and having the strength to understand that taking a break and a step back for like a day or two is it's okay. It's
Yeah.
okay to just need a little vacation. That doesn't make you a bad parent. It doesn't make us a bad teacher. If
Hmm.
at the end of the week we're like, okay, thank goodness for the weekend. We'll try again next time or we'll try again next week. It we all are human and our child, your child, we all need to take care of ourselves in order to best take care of other people. I've
Hmm.
always loved that saying
To,
and I support it even in family situations because we're human.
absolutely.
Um, which brings me into one of the lessons I learned from teaching a quote unquote difficult child. This happened this week working with one of my children who's been having a difficult time learning their alphabet. And while I'm sitting there working with them, they got sidetracked, which is understandable considering I work with um, 4 and 5 year olds.
Hmm.
But this child got sidetracked, and I tried to redirect them and let them know, hey, this is what we're working on right now. You've been doing a good job so far. Let's keep it up. We're almost done. And the child took that and said, well, I can't because I'm bad. My name is Bad. We'll call the kid Jimmy.
Hmm.
Jimmy says, I can't. I'm bad Jimmy. My mom says I'm bad Jimmy. Now, I'm trying to let this child know that, hey, we all struggle sometimes and we all have issues with learning certain things. I'm not good at math. We all just have like it takes time. That's why we're here at school. We're here at school to learn. We're here at school to do better.
Yeah.
It doesn't make us bad because we don't understand. And my kid tells me, well, I can't because I'm bad, which just isn't the case. And I'm telling the kid, we can do it together. We're a team. I'm here to help you. I want to help you. That doesn't make you bad. It makes you ready to learn. It makes you a student. And trying to encourage this child to break down that wall of, I'm a bad kid and therefore I behave badly and can't do this.
Oh, poor baby.
And this is a 4 and 5-year-old child, like trying to teach them that their actions do not define them. It just tells us where we need to go with them.
Mm.
So remember, Villafam, kids listen. They hear you loud and clear.
They remember.
Oh yeah.
They definitely
Remember what you say about them, and they look up to parents more than they look up to anybody else. They look up to the parents, and if the parent feels this way, then they'll remember that and say, well, like my kid said, my mom told me this, and who am I to compete with mom in their eyes? And I can't. All I can do is try my best to at least encourage them that while they're in school, they're not a bad child.
The kiddos.
Yeah, sweet kids. They learn and they learn, and they've got their team by their side to help them. Remember your teammates, Villafam.
Absolutely.
Thanks for tuning in again to another episode with Two Village Girls. Please subscribe to our channel if you are new, and if you have any comments or suggestions, please leave them down below. Also, go ahead and hit that bell to get notified when new videos drop. Please follow us on all our social medias, which will be listed in the description box below. As always, we want to send you out some positive vibes to get you through the rest of your week. This week's inspirational quote is by Harold Hulbert, who says, "Children need love, especially when they don't deserve it." Thanks, Villafam. Bye.
Bye.